Yeah, to me versus time. I feel.
Yeah, we decided to change it up. Also, let's play our theme song. Like 500 stones.
Like 500 stones.
We promised you the theme song is coming. We are working on it. But Brooklyn, we're back. We're back.
We are back. Part 3.
Part 3 of what's bound to be, I think, we whittled
20?
it down to a 20 episode arc or something like that.
Yeah, I think 20, 25 divided, or 500 divided by 20, or yeah,
25.
500 divided by. We can't do math.
We're not, but luckily for our listeners, this is not a math podcast. We are counting down the Rolling Stone top 500 songs of all time, and we have a special guest this week. We have one Senior Koho. Hey, Caleb, how you doing tonight?
I'm doing good. Thank God this isn't a math podcast, or else I'd be fucked. But I'm here simply to piss off the listenership. Zach Ford, if you're listening, is going to have a goddamn stroke.
Oh, God. Well, we both somehow picked the exact right person to have on this podcast, and a nightmare. With that, we are going to get right into it. Last time we left off, we were, I think it was Bad and Bougie at 451.
Oh, yes, Bad and Bougie.
Cooking up shit with a Uzi.
Koho, any thoughts on that before we move on?
Oh, that takes me back to high school. That was a.
Oh my God! Ew.
Ew. That was a time in my life. I remember when that played at every school dance. Yeah, I don't know. It was fine. My friends and I had a parody of it that we made up and we would say because we thought the song was stupid, but the song's not that bad actually. It's okay. It does not belong in the top 500 songs of all time.
No.
All right, but with that, we're going to move on to number 450, which is Powderfinger by Neil Young and Crazy Horse. This song's cool. Look, Neil Young for me is one of those guys where I either love whatever song it is, or I'm just really indifferent. And unfortunately, this is just one of those. I get why people in like the Southern rock kind of genre would hold this song up in high regard, but it just doesn't stick with me. Brooklyn, what are your thoughts?
This is not the song from Neil Young and Crazy Horse that I would expect to see on the list. I wasn't even sure which song they were talking about. I had to throw it on as a refresher. For this style of Neil Young song, if we're seeing this at 450, we should be seeing a lot more down the line. I don't think this, as a Neil Young fan, this shouldn't be in the top 500 songs.
I mean, we'll definitely see something like Heart of Gold coming down the line, I would assume.
Heart of Gold, Harvest Moon. Even like from his Crazy Horse era, I would love to see Down by the River or like Cowgirl in the Sand, some of his more like jammy stuff.
Mm-hmm. Koho, what do you think of this song?
This shit way too long. I put all of the songs we're talking about today in a playlist. And I let them run right down the list. Of just what we're gonna talk about, so I can listen to it while I was doing other things. And I remember sitting here about 4 minutes in and going, "It's not over yet. This thing is boring and way too long and absolutely not deserving of the top 500 at all, let alone 450." My God.
Yeah, I'd probably agree. I don't think this is necessarily top 500 of all time. It is 5.5 minutes long.
Yeah, what the
and
fuck?
I think it's just the sluggish tempo just doesn't help it earn that.
Well, it's fine if you're gonna have a sluggish tempo, but like Neil Young is actually a half decent storyteller, and like if Koho, somebody who I know is very who's very like involved in lyrics, can get attached to a story like that, then I'm like you're not gonna really get me to turn around on it.
Yeah. All right. So moving on, we're going to go to 449. Don't Fear the Reaper by Blue Oyster Cult.
I've got a fever, and that prescription is for more cowbell.
More cowbell. Yeah, that's the song that that's the thing that everyone kind of knows this song for now, which is kind of a shame because this song is friggin' awesome. But Koho, I saw you have a good reaction to this. Let's have you start.
Oh, I dig this song a lot. I don't know if I would necessarily put in the top 500, but I'm not mad that it's here. I think it's a good song. It's on my Halloween playlist every year. It shows up. It's a good vibe. I like this song. It's just a nice, chill jam. That when you really listen to it, should not be a chill jam. But it's a good time. I don't know. I don't know much about Blue Oyster Cult outside of Don't Fear the Reaper. But Don't Fear the Reaper is definitely one of those where it's like, yeah, I can get into this. I enjoy this. The guitar on this one just rocks. Yeah, at the end of the day, I'm not mad this is here. Probably wouldn't be in my top 500. It maybe would be. If it was, it'd be probably in the 490 range, but good song.
Honestly, for me, this would probably hit like the 300s. I really love the atmosphere that this song creates, especially with its lyrics and just the way it's produced, like especially in like that the part where it starts echoing itself, like Romeo and Juliet, Romeo and Juliet, like that entire part just sets this incredible atmosphere, and it does what it almost kind of does what the song Good Vibrations does, where it kind of completely shifts the tone at one point, but it gets like warped and kind of crazy with that incredible guitar solo. I think this song is incredible, honestly, and I wish more people would recognize it outside of that SNL sketch. Brooklyn?
Yeah, so this one got a lot of. This one was pretty popular on the radios even before Saturday Night Live kind of brought it back to life. In terms of Blue Oyster Cult, this is like I'm fine with it being in the 400s. There's one song that I would put from their catalog above it, and that's probably from Guitar Hero 3 nostalgia. One of the bonus tracks on there was Cities on Flame with Rock and Roll, and it just opens with this very like heavy riff, like doom, 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 and it has a very very licky sort of shreddy sort of riff in between, and just more blues forward. I think the thing that a lot of people overlook in this, like as a section in general, is the solo in this. You definitely get it puts the fear in the song because you like Koho mentioned, it's a very like highway rock sort of feel, but then you get into that solo and it's like and you have all these, you're not these moving parts, but you have like that shrieking sort of guitar, and then you have the undertones of the rhythm, and then you have that drum slowly come in, and it's just building up louder and louder, and then you go back into that main riff, and it just you go back into what feels almost like the normalcy.
Yeah, the shift back into the normalcy is, I think, what really ties this song up in a ribbon like really nicely. Great song. More people should listen to it if you haven't. But moving on to 448, we have Tyrone by Erykah Badu. Brooklyn, do you have any thoughts on this one?
I do not. I'm going to look it up right now.
Okay. Koho, how about you?
So I listened to the live version. I don't know, because that was the one that Spotify gave to me. It's good. I liked it. I actually dug it. I don't know who Erykah Badu is, but her stage presence in the live version, that I like, just hearing her stage presence is really good. I don't know. I thought the song was pretty good. I don't have much of an attachment. I'm sure I might come back to this one. Maybe it's one that I would revisit. But I don't know. It's too new for me to put in my top 500. But like, I'm not like offended it's here or anything.
I really like this song, actually. I really dig I'm trying to think of a good word for it, but it really is knocking this guy down a ton of pegs.
Oh, this is a roast of someone we've never met, and I'm here for it.
Oh, yeah. Like, my favorite part is that Tyrone is not the guy that she's singing to.
Nope.
Tyrone is his friend that apparently he loves more than her. And she's basically saying, hey, you better call him up to help you get your shit out of my house. Oh, by the way, No, you're not allowed to use my phone because you're not going to be. You haven't been paying any bills anyway, so fuck off. I think it's a great fuck off song, honestly, and there goes our sponsorship. And what? But I dig the vibe of this song. It's just a great fuck off song, and I think that we don't have enough of those as high quality as this, in my opinion. I think this. I think if it's going,
You don't think Olivia Rodrigo has so many good fuck off songs on Sour? What?
look, not with this kind of smoky atmosphere.
Come after us, Paul Oyama.
Yikes.
We here at 500, we here at like 500 Stone do not share the opinions of one Kaleb Koho. Please email your anger to.
Overrated.
Please email your hate mail to one caleb.boatman@gmail.com.
Yep, Caleb. It's actually because I'm Boatman at gmail.com. That is the email you need to email.
Yeah. Yes.
So yeah, this song lyrically, I'm sure is amazing, but like I guess how it's arranged and just the overall stuff, like this overall genre style. So it came out in the late '90s, and it just kind of fits into that subgenre of like very slow R&B power ballad. I often put like Wheels of Life in there, and like to an extent, Michael Jackson's like You Were Not Alone, just like that has those like very soft electronic keys, and that very like it's that same boom. Like they're not even hitting the snare; they're hitting the rim of the snare. They do it. It's the same beat in all of these songs. But yeah, I'll have to revisit it for the kind of the roasting that it actually is.
Yeah. All right, and with that, we will move on to number 447, which is we finally hit the Beatles. Help by the Beatles. Help. Okay, look, I have this exact album on my wall right behind me. Well, it's the soundtrack to the movie, but still, it's Help. I really dig this song a lot. It is one of my favorite Beatles songs. I probably wouldn't put it in my top 10 Beatles songs, but it's definitely in my top 25. It's just got this jaunty, jangly kind of like melody that's just super infectious, and just like the staccato-ness of I think it's John saying help. It's just expertly crafted, and it's like a great 60s pop song, and it's held the test of time very well. I think this is a very good spot for it, though. I don't think any higher would be benefiting it, but it should still be on the list. I think this is a good spot for it. Koho, what are your thoughts?
If this is where Help by the Beatles is, we're going to have a million Beatles songs ahead of us. Because this is a great song. This is one of the best from the Beatles, in my opinion. I think, honestly, it's one of the most haunting Beatles songs, if you really think about it. It's one that just, if you know the story for John at the time when he wrote it, it's a desperate song. He doesn't even like the song, which is kind of funny. But I think that the song is just great. And like, I know people don't like the movie Yesterday, but I think the way they use it in the movie Yesterday is also really good. That like is also just really like it understands the song that it is and what the song's saying, and just uses it in the exact same way in the movie. I think Help's fantastic. It definitely deserves to be in the top 500 songs of all time. This being the lowest Beatles one makes me curious as to which Beatles are higher. Because I also have contrarian opinions about some of the Beatles' big songs that might come up later, where I'm like, I think Help should be higher than that, but Help definitely should be here. I honestly think it could go a little bit higher than this too, but it's
Koho, I want to ask you this real quick before we get to Brooklyn.
Sure.
I know that not last year, but the last time Rolling Stone magazine released this list, the highest Beatles song was Hey Jude. Is this better or lower than Hey Jude?
Lower than Hey Jude. Hey Jude is one of the greatest songs I've ever heard in my life. I love Hey Jude. I don't think it's the Beatles' best song either. I don't think that should be the highest Beatles song. But I think Hey Jude is one of those songs that is fantastic, and I think Help should be below Hey Jude. there are other Beatles songs that should be higher than Hey Jude that I hope are higher than Hey Jude.
Brooklyn, what are your thoughts?
Well, I'll get my thoughts away from on Hey Jude. Hey Jude is an incredible Paul song. It is not a great Beatles song. Yeah, that's my stance on that. But Help, I agree with Caleb. Help could almost be a little bit higher. What I feel like they're going to be doing is instead of kind of quantifiably putting in Beatles songs, they're going to be putting in by era or whatever. So we're probably going to be seeing at least 4 or 5 more. Similar to what you were saying, Andrew, with like the call and answer vocals from another song that we talked about earlier. I like how they do that in the second verse, where it's like John sort of sets it up, and then Paul comes in afterwards, but they meet together on the fourth line. Also, George is doing some really cool work in this with guitar, and just when he's doing the transitions, especially from that pre-chorusy part to the verse, and then the verse itself into the chorus. Just those simple little walk downs gives it enough of a tone.
Yeah. So with that being said, we will definitely see what other Beatles songs come up in the future. But number 446 is okay, I'm going to go last on this because I know the opinions of these other 2 panelists on this particular artist. But number 446 is Rosalita, Come Out Tonight by Bruce Springsteen and the E Street Band. Brooklyn, let's start with your incorrect response.
Bruce Springsteen has 2 good songs. That's about it. And this is not one of them.
All right, Koho.
Too long. Filled with bullshit lyrics that mean nothing. An awful singer. That makes Rosalita Come Out Tonight an awful choice for the top 5.
I listened to 5 seconds of this song, and I'm pretty sure that this is I can already assume this is going to be off of the backbone of Born to Run or Thunder Road. They sound almost the exact same in terms of intros. Yeah.
Bruce Springsteen has written 1 song and then clones it for the rest of his life, and all of them are bad. Bruce Springsteen sucks, and he does not deserve it. He does not deserve a singular spot in the top 500 songs of all time. He is a hack and a trash artist. A trash artist. Get him out of here.
You are fucking nuts. Look, okay. Yes, the lyrics in this song are kind of all over the place. It's a very jam bandy kind of song. But I'm not gonna lie, if I said I didn't love this song, I think the song is a whole lot of fun. Is it a little bit too long? Yes, I will agree. They could probably have shaved 2 minutes off of this. But there are so many moments in this song that are so good. What the heck? Here we go. There are so many moments in this song that are just so good. The whole I know your mama hates me because I play in a rock and roll band. But the record company, Rosie, just gave me a big advance. Like, there are so many great moments in this, and just the way that Bruce is throwing himself into this energy, and the band is just on this high point, and it's just building and building and building and building, and it just explodes at the end. Y'all are friggin' crazy. This song rocks. I think this is a good spot for it. I personally don't know if it should be on the top 500 list, but I'm happy that it is, so the 2 of you can go suck rocks.
Sucking rocks would be a better experience than anything Bruce Springsteen has ever done. In fact, his voice sounds like he has eaten rocks.
You know what? Sucking rocks, you probably actually get a lot of flavor. You like, depending on where they washed up, where you harvested them.
Spring rocks seem like sucking on those sounds like a refreshing experience, something that I would never get from listening to Bruce Springsteen.
And we're moving on to number 445, that being Cosmic Dancer by T-Rex. Hopefully, this will be a lot more of a respectable conversation from you 2 nincompoops.
This song sucks! No, I'm kidding.
Koho, why don't you start first then?
It's alright. I'll be honest. This was fine. Like, I also would not put this in the top 500 songs of all time. I think it's fine. There's nothing like super wrong with it. There's just nothing super like, I don't know, like stand out about it. It's a very just middle of the road song. I guess I kind of like the guitars. I kind of like the sound a little bit, but at the end of the day, it's one of those where I'm like, I'll probably never listen to this song again. It's fine.
Brooklyn?
I think when they were making the list, they were like, "Man, A Day in the Life needs to be on this list," and they're like, "No, we're not going to put the Beatles' A Day in the Life. We're going to throw in this song to kind of be like the better, like to kind of have a more defined or a more expansive list or whatever." It's really cool. I'm definitely going to go back to this and kind of figure out all the little nuances in it and whatnot. The drum work in it is really cool. Like if you love like 70s sort of like, I wouldn't quite call it psychedelic rock, but I also wouldn't call it like your standard sort of like soft rock. It's kind of a bit of in between. But yeah, if like I said previously, if you like a Beatles A Day in the Life, I think you'll really like this song.
I would call it glam rock. It's kind of got that Bowie-esque kind of spacey, atmospheric production to it, which honestly I think is the best part of this song. Is the production, just the way it sounds, because it sounds incredible. Like the mixing and the mastering on this is one of those things that I would like. If I was a college professor and I was like teaching that kind of subject, this is one of the songs that I would use as an example, because it is beautiful in the sound. I like this song. It's grown on me since I first heard it. And no, it wasn't just recently that I first heard it, because I don't know what this list is. But I don't know if it belongs on the list. T-Rex is one of those bands that I really admire. I don't know if I necessarily go back to them a lot. I guess this is probably the best of their songs that I've heard, but I don't know. Any other thoughts before we move on?
Nah.
All right. Moving on to number 444, In the Club by
Go.
Go, Sean. It's your birthday.
Koho, why don't you start with this one?
Banger. A little too high, but banger. Into Club is one of those that is like, it's one that I think everyone who was a kid in the 21st century or was in high school in the 21st century heard a lot, especially if you went to like parties and dances and stuff. Into Club plays a lot, and I like it. It's one that every time it comes on, it's a good vibe. I like Into Club. I think it's probably, here's the thing, I don't like 50 Cent. I don't think he's particularly that great, but I think this is by far the best work he's ever done. And yeah, I know it's a hot take, I guess, but I don't know. I think this deserves a spot, maybe a little bit lower, but this is definitely one that I'm not upset is here. It's a good song.
I'm kind of gonna agree with Koho, actually. I think this might be his best piece. Also, it's the production as well. Like that guitar that comes in and it just really starts to like build. And the energy behind it it's just really, really engaging. In fact, I have I know so many like white suburban soccer parents that would listen to this song and not really listen to the lyrics in their full extent, but they were like, "Hey kids, doesn't this song bump in the whip on their way to like Chuck E. Cheese after after soccer practice?" But it's a dope ass song. I'm glad it's on the list. I think that being in this area is a good fit for it. Brooklyn, what about you?
You're right in that this is a iconic song for its time. This was a little before my like club days. and going to dances and stuff. But I would talk to friends who were going to like go to bars around this time frame. And I would hear friends be like, yeah, like this song would get requested to be played like 5 to 6 times in one night, which today is unheard of. Like you might hear a song twice in one night. But in terms of like 50 Cent's overall work, this is good. If I had to handpick one 50 Cent song in particular, I would pick PIMP. That's just a very fun hype song, and then I think that's kind of, wouldn't say like it kind of created the meme of G-Unit, or just kind of like that overall hype.
G-Unit.
But in terms of 50 Cent's overall good enough words, their quality of song, I would pick 21 Questions. I think the guitar lick in that is really cool. It just has like a nice kind of flow to it.
I'm not gonna lie, I completely forgot that song existed, and it's kind of like half of it's good, so it's more by like 25 Cent. That's my dumb joke for the episode. That's
my super. Get him out of here! Get him out of here!
That's my super dumb.
Get him out!
We have the show.
Yeah, but I'm the one who runs the list over here. So moving on to number 443. Okay. There we go.
Yes!
Okay. We're going to save you for last.
It's my time!
Brooklyn number 443 is Sugar We're Going Down by Fall Out Boy. What are your thoughts on this song?
I should be going first on this song because I jammed to this song before any of you, or actually no, Andrew probably jammed to the song first. Yeah, this was a junior high sensation. What for a lot of us, it's what we first heard of Fall Out Boy, either this song or Dance Dance. I have had multiple conversations with friends, just texting the lyrics back and forth of this song. The second verse in this, I really like how it goes from like super subtle. It's like, am I more than you bargained for yet? Oh, don't mind me. I'm watching you two from the closet, wishing to be the friction in your jeans. And then you go from that like very metaphorical line to, isn't it messed up how I'm just dying to be here? And I just, for some reason, I get like goosebumps during that section because it seems very emotional, especially coming from Patrick Stump, who I admire as a vocalist. Especially, he has very like Stephen Page-esque qualities. But yeah, pop punk staple. It's been talked about on this, or not on this show, but like on other music shows in this community, and it's going to continue to be a great song.
I really like this song. I really like this song. I think Patrick Stump is a great vocalist, even though I don't think that he's necessarily a technically great singer. I think that its melodic strengths are incredible. It's not necessarily one of my favorite Fall Out Boy songs, though.
That's fair.
So I think this should, while I think it deserves to be on the list because of the historical significance of this song, I think it should be a little bit lower. Go on.
Shit should be about 500 spots higher, Cotton. This song is fucking mint. Let's just stop for 5 seconds and say this is legitimately probably the best song Fall Out Boy has ever done. I love Fall Out Boy. There are songs that I love more. I love Save Rock and Roll as much as the next person. I love Thanks for the Memories as much as the next person. I'm just saying, if we're going to say the objective number one Fall Out Boy song, I think it is by far Sugar We're Going Down. I think that song is fantastic. This is absolutely deserving of the top 500. It's way too low at 443. If you're going to go into the pop punk emo era of the 2000s in which I thrive, that is me. That is my fucking scene. It's Fall Out Boy. It's MCR.
Hold on, Koho.
That's Koho, my guys.
That ain't a scene. That's an arms race.
You're right. You got me there. But if I'm gonna if we're going to go into my realm of music, this is one of the ones that absolutely deserves to be on the list, deserves to be higher than 443. Lyrically, this is what I think so far. Lyrically, this might be the best song in the top 500 yet so far that we've gotten to. Sorry, Help. I think Sure We're Going Down's a better written song. That's right. I think Fall Out Boy have written a better song than the Beatles. Come at me. This song is brilliant. Should be higher. Pete Wentz and Patrick Stump are fucking geniuses and great musicians and artists and songwriters of the 21st century and are recognized for it here with this masterpiece song.
I'm going to bring up one counterpoint for Fall Out Boy in general. Whenever I was talking about it, there was one song that kind of came up in my head that you could throw in here and I think would be a better overall selection for the 500 songs. I would say What a Catch, Donnie. And that's more so, I think lyrically as well in the end. What? Man, that's such a cool...
There is not a single song from a couple albums. Caleb Boatman. Okay, here's the thing. If you brought in Caleb Boatman and you were like, hey, Boatman, what's the best Panic at the Disco song? The fucker will throw out Mad as Rabbits and say Pretty Odd's the best album they've ever made. So he is not someone you want to talk to on this show. He doesn't know what music is.
He was on our first episode.
Caleb Boatman is a hack, an incorrect guess, and I guarantee you he spouted some bullshit propaganda about how everyone in Panic at the Disco is bad after they left after Pretty Odd. He's a fucking hack, a liar, he fake news Boatman. But at the end of the day...
You can send your angry emails to...
Because I'm Boatman. Because I'm Boatman at gmail.com. But I have to disagree. I don't think there's a single song from a lot of their albums. Not one from Folie à Deux, not one from Infinity on High, not one from Maniac, not one from those.
That definitely not one from Maniac. Oh God, no.
Yeah. Or Mania, I mean. And there you could make arguments for some on American Beauty, American Psycho, but I wouldn't do it, and I'm the biggest defender of them. I'm one of the biggest defenders of the album American Beauty, American Psycho ever, and there's not one song on that album except for maybe Twin Skeletons that I would be like, better. And even then, I won't even argue Twin Skeletons better than this, even though I love Twin Skeletons. I think there's only one album that has songs that you can argue against Sugar We're Going Down and the rest of From Under the Cork Tree, and those come from Save Rock and Roll, the titular Save Rock and Roll, but... maybe it's on here, maybe it's higher, and I'll be okay with that, but I think Sugar We're Going Down is the correct highest Fall Out Boy song, and it sucks that we're only going to have one Fall Out Boy song in the top 500. It sucks. This is probably the only one in the top 500, but this is a great song.
Probably, considering like the historical significance of this song in the realm of music. But, moving on, thank you for talking about that Fallout Song Boy.
Fallout Song Boy.
Number 442, Ace of Spades by Motorhead. Fuck yeah! This song freaking slaps. Look, do I completely get the lyrics anytime this song comes on? No. Do I bother checking the lyrics on this song? Not really. But anytime this song comes on, hell fucking yeah. If I'm in my car, I want to hit my gas pedal so hard, but we have to drive safely. This riff just friggin' rocks. Lemmy's vocals on this are so great. Once again, one of those vocalists that maybe not technically great, but just the way that he delivers the vocals on here are so badass. And it's just, oh my God, it just friggin' rocks. Brooklyn.
This song also reminds me that Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 2 was a very fun game and an incredible soundtrack. Lemmy does a really, really good job with this. This is thrash metal at its purest. It's chugging along. It's like, it feels like it's getting faster and faster, but that's just how it's arranged and everything. There's a section in the second verse or whatever when they break it up or whatever, and they kind of just let me go a cappella. And I think that works really well because when you all of a sudden cut out the underbelly of it, his graveliness I think really kind of stands out. And then that riff you have to hum three notes, and I think people know what song you're talking about, like do do do. I think a lot of people know what song that is.
Koho, would you?
I'll be honest. I listened to it, and my memory of this left my brain as soon as it was done. I didn't really enjoy listening to it. It's not my kind of music. I don't think it's a bad song. It's Motorhead. Motorhead's not my band. I'm not
Man,
really
you want
impressed.
really heavy music? Beverly Hills by Weezer, man.
You're talking to the wrong guy. I don't like
You're talking to the
Weezer.
wrong guy.
I don't like Weezer.
Once again,
Caleb Boatman probably came out here in week 1 and was like, Rivers Cuomo is my dad! Like,
hey, Kaleb Koho, episode 1, Caleb Boatman's on. Guess what song's on there? Buddy Holly by Weezer.
oh my god, the most overrated Weezer song of all time. Get the fuck out of here. He probably sat there and was like, but it says so many references. It's like We Didn't Start the Fire by Billy Joel. Fuck off, Boatman.
I can't remember exactly what he said, but I don't think
Buddy Holly was a real person who lived. He said his name. Oh my god.
I need to go to Doctor Strange's house, steal the Eye of Agamotto, and then rewind back in time to like 2 or 3 years ago, so that Boatman and Koho can have a proper dance-off match, and then we can go back and shoot Jukebox in the head behind the shed.
Well, here's what we could do. We resurrect it. We let me and Bowman actually do a dance-off, and we put that in place of the title that me and Cody never played because Cody was too scared to play me. Let's go! I earned the shot to play Cody. We both mutually agreed. We don't gotta play.
Hey, Koho, where should Cody send his angry messages to?
Because I'm Boatman at gmail.com.
Okay, good. I couldn't remember. Thank you.
Yeah.
Moving on to number 441 on this list before we anger Cody anymore. The House That Built Me by Miranda Lambert. I'm going to start with this one because Miranda Lambert is my girl. She's one of my all-time favorite country artists. She's probably like top 3 for me. I love this song. I hadn't listened to it in a long time, and it just randomly came on in my car. And I was like, oh yeah, this song. I remember liking this song. And it hit me in the core, like emotionally. Like that desire to just want to go back to your childhood, to like your childhood memories, and be in the place where like they all actually happened. Because you're a stressed out adult and like the weight of the world feels like it's on your shoulders. And just the fact that she's talking to the people that live there now gives it this extra sense of like wistful yearning. I think the song is fantastic. I think Miranda Lambert's vocals are beautiful on this. It necessarily wouldn't be my pick for her best song of all time, and it saddens me that knowing this is her most popular song, this is probably going to be the only one of hers that is on this list. But check out more Miranda Lambert, you guys. She's absolutely fantastic. Koho, let's go to you next.
I'm not a huge fan of country music. This was okay. I think it's fine. I don't think it's an offensive inclusion in the top 500. It's not going to sniff mine. But that's also just because, if I'm being honest, I'm not a Miranda Lambert fan. I'm not a country fan. There's like maybe 4 or 5 songs in the country genre total that could make my top 500. This wouldn't be one of them. So I'm not gonna be like offended that this is here like I would be if you put me on the first show and you said Buddy Holly by Weezer. But this is this is fine. It shouldn't be here, but it's fine.
I disagree with that last part, but Brooklyn?
I'm gonna agree with Koho somewhat.
Oh my god!
I mean, whenever you said Miranda Lambert is top 3 country artists, Shania Twain, Casey Musgraves, and like Dolly Parton.
I'm gonna say it. She's better than Shania Twain.
Get the no.
She's better than Shania Twain.
We do not talk badly about Canadian female country goddess Shania Twain.
Look, Canadian female country goddess Shania Twain is very good. She's probably in the top 15.
This song is fine. I think the thing for me that that doesn't have me as big of Miranda
Merlander?
a Miranda Lambert fan is that her voice isn't as distinctive.
Oh my god!
Yeah, I'm gonna say that.
But Shania Twain, who sometimes I can't tell the difference between her and Faith Hill, is.
You can definitely tell the difference between Shania Twain and Faith Hill. Shania Twain's older, and like has the.
They were around the same time. Don't come at me.
Don't you listen? You don't dish Shania Twain. Like that's an offense in Canada.
I'm not dissing her. I'm saying she's very good, but she's not like top 3.
She's top 1. That's why.
Okay, we're gonna move on from this madness. I highly encourage people to listen to this song.
So when do we get to talk about Florida Georgia Line?
I will ram a Dodge truck over your sternum.
I would prefer you use Motor Trend's Truck of the Year, the Ford F-150.
All right, moving on to number 440. If I Ain't Got You by Alicia Keys.
Hell yeah.
Brooklyn, I'm going to have you start with this one.
This song actually popped up a little bit in my overall list of the 500. I forgot how good this song is. I think this was Alicia Keys' breakout single, but I think it would have been like the second or third one. But it's really soulful. If you really like Billy Joel and Elton John for their like more individual takes, I really think that you would enjoy this. Kind of miss Alicia Keys. And I feel like there is some untapped potential into what she would be doing in this scene, given how technologically progressive, I guess, we've gotten.
Koho, how about you?
Oh, yeah, this song's great. Alicia Keys is fantastic. I also am with Brooklyn. I think she should be working still. At least she should still be as big as she is back then today. It's kind of wild that we haven't had like a top 40 hit from her since like 2011, which I like that song a lot, and I kind of hope it shows
Girl
up.
on Fire?
But Girl on Fire, baby. But this song is great. If this is the Alicia Keys song, which I really hope it's not the only one, I'm okay with that. I think there's 2 or 3 other ones that I hope are on here and maybe a little higher, but this one is great. Not going to be upset with it.
Yeah, if I had to pick one, I'm probably going to get the title wrong too. I would probably go with You Don't Even Know My Name.
Yeah.
But I
love You Don't Know My Name.
What's that?
I love that. I love You Don't Even Know My Name. I also will stand by her Bond song with Jack White is not bad. It's actually kind of dope. It's kind of dope.
Yeah. It's just attached to a movie that people don't like.
I know. Another Way to Die is very fun. Is it the worst of the 5 new Bond songs? Yeah, probably, but it's still great.
Yeah. I really like this song a lot, and I think knowing that it's actually about Aaliyah and like the aftermath of September 11th, like combined, really does add an extra element to this song. Because at first I thought it was just like, oh, it's like a traditional like love song, but then you find out that it is a love song, but not in the way that I thought it was. I think that she sounds fantastic on this. She's a hell of a piano player. Like, she's an absolutely fantastic piano player. Maybe a better piano player than singer. But she's great in both. Yeah, this song's dope. I think that if it's going to be on the list, I think this is a very good spot for it. Any higher, I think, would be too much. Any lower, I think, would be kind of wrong. So, yeah. But we're going to move on to 439 with Celia Cruz, La Vida es un carnaval. I hope I'm saying that correctly.
Carnival.
This song's a lot of fun. Granted, there's a language barrier for me. I understand what the overall tone and theme of the song is. Life is a Carnival. There's just that kind of blockage for me. So while I think the song is a lot of fun, it's a great salsa piece. I don't know if I would put it on the list, but once again, there's a wall for me. Koho.
Shit slaps, bro. This rocks. The language barrier doesn't really affect me personally. That might just come from having studied the language for a long time. But I enjoy the music a lot. I think it is super fun, super upbeat, super jovial. And that's just I think it infuses positivity in you when you hear it. I think that comes regardless of language.
Absolutely.
And it's a blast. I don't know if I'd probably put it on my top 500, but again, this was the first time I heard it. I would, if I included it, it would probably be 500, but I think it's a good song. I'm not upset it's on here. It's a great song.
And Brooklyn.
Yeah, like it's a fun song to dance to. I feel like this song has gotten sampled quite a bit, or maybe it's just this chord progression gets used a lot. But yeah, this is kind of in vain to the Carlos Santana song that was on earlier in the series, O Como Va.
Como va.
Yeah. Same thing, like you said, Andrew. Like a bit of a language barrier, I guess, in it figuring out like what the song is about. But yeah, and in terms of like instrumentation, it slaps.
Yeah, the construction of the song is absolutely fantastic. So I do recommend it to anyone who's very interested in it. Absolutely. Moving on to 438. Okay. Megan Thee Stallion featuring Beyonce, the Savage remix. Koho, let's have you start.
Have we had Billie Eilish on this list yet?
Not yet.
I swear to every god in existence.
Uh-oh.
If this song is right here at 438, and we don't have at least 20 Billie Eilish songs above this, I'm gonna burn the goddamn Rolling Stones to the ground. This song is fun. It's fine. I don't hate it. I think it's fucking okay. Billie Eilish adores this song, which I think is kind of funny. If you watch the Grammys this year, she thought this should have won Record of the Year. I disagree with that. I think everything I wanted won deservingly. But, like, I think the reason why I even bring up the Billie Eilish comparison is literally just because if we're going to pick up artists that are working today from the last 2 years, I know Lizzo was on here earlier also, and Lil Nas X. So we're picking all of her, like, fellow class of new artists. She better have, like, multiple songs on here above this, because this is a fine song. It's not a top 500, especially this one with Beyonce. Beyonce makes it better, but it's also, like, she can't really save it. It's, like, fine. It's the definition of okay. If you are drunk and listening to this song, it's a vibe. If you're completely sober driving in the car listening to it on the radio, I might switch the station. I might not. It depends on the moment, the feel, and the mood. It's fine. I wouldn't put it on my top 500. I'm just, yeah, there's no fucking way that this is on this list. First of all, above Old Town Road, because Lil Nas X touches anything and it turns to gold for me. I think Lil Nas X is fucking great.
Ooh, you're going to love the first episode when Caleb Boatman talks about that, though.
Oh, and Caleb Boatman talks about how Lil Nas X isn't good, but you know who's great? Weezer, Rivers Cuomo is my dad! Fuck off, but when Lil Nas X has more talent in his entire body than Rivers Cuomo. This song shouldn't be here. It's fine.
Okay, Brooklyn.
I'm gonna agree with Koho. This song should not be here. This is kind of like Melissa Etheridge's "Come to My Window." You don't.
Whoa!
Let me finish the comparison. You don't know the song by the verse, but then you get to the chorus and everybody's screaming "Come to My Window." But you get to this song and it's just like, okay, something bougie, savage. Okay, like the chorus is fun, but like I don't remember anything from the verse in this. The keys and the hook is easily the best thing of it. But yeah, especially coming from 2020, there's could have been a lot better.
First of all, if you ever compare this song to "Come to My Window" again, I will personally fly out to Canada, and I will stick a whole plate of poutine right in your face, and then just walk
Okay.
just walk you over the Niagara Falls.
I was gonna say thank you for the free meal.
You're welcome. I like this song. I like this song. I don't think it belongs on here. I think that this is I think this is the perfect song to have on when you're getting ready for the night with other people. Outside of that, I don't know if it belongs on this list. I actually really like Megan Thee Stallion a lot. I'm actually a very big fan of hers. But if we're going to have a collaboration with her and someone else on this list, if I had to choose between this and WAP, I pick WAP.
I agree.
Yeah.
Cardi B, I have. I mean,
I
would be-
specifically
this is a hot take,
pick.
but-
I specifically pick the certain political talk show host's reading of it. I think that is better than anything SNL has done in a long time.
Okay. So with that, we're going to move on to 437, which is Lucinda Williams' "Passionate Kisses." Brooklyn, what are your thoughts on this song?
I have not heard this song before. I'm gonna
Oh.
listen.
Okay, I'll go first on this one. I think that this is a very good song. I really like it a lot. I think that it's one of those songs where the craftsmanship really does shine. I think that she sounds very good on this song. It's very relatable. It's a deeply relatable song to me. If I'm going to be completely honest, I found this song at exactly the right time, and that was just very recently, to be completely honest. But it still hit me very hard. And I think that relatability, that longing for love and like truly passionate kisses and things like that, finding that other person that just fits with you and just like desiring it. It's a very relatable song. Koho, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, this was good. I hadn't heard it until today. I enjoyed it. I thought it was very good. Yeah, this is deserving of a spot. Maybe a little lower. I wouldn't put it above Sugar We're Going Down, but I don't think there's really anything in this episode that I'd probably put above Sugar We're Going Down.
I'd put this above Sugar We're Going Down.
Yeah, you're old though. This is fine. This is fine.
This song's not that old though. It's what
1988.
1988. Okay.
You're old, Bar.
This is older than I am, but
This
still.
song's like 40 years old now.
What?
It's almost 50, it's almost 50
almost
years
30.
old.
I mean, almost 40.
It's almost 50.
But I think that this song really did kind of usher in the sound of, that alternative sound that the early to mid 90s would actually be really known for. I wouldn't be surprised if bands like REM were kind of inspired by this song, even though they came around the same time. Because it's got that jangly kind of production to it.
I don't know if I can back up on that one, but that's fair.
Eh.
I get sort of what you're saying, but I don't know.
Yeah.
REM's not the band I used to compare to the song at all.
That's fair, I guess. I'm probably trying to think of like someone else, and they were just the first one that came to mind.
Fair.
Gin Blossoms for sure.
That's fair.
Brooklyn, have you gotten to take a better listen?
I did get a chance to listen to this song. This song is bland.
Boo!
The band that I like. This sounds like a Smiths extra song that they just didn't have time to record. And listen to it was like, yeah, I'm gonna take this and go from there. It's just unoriginal. She's a great singer. The lyrics don't attach, and yeah, in terms of 500 greatest songs of all time, this is doing nothing in terms of production quality. I could like we could throw in another person and record something similar quality wise in like a day. Like there's nothing to this.
Wow. Well, I'm glad we ended on you, because that is not a take I was expecting, to completely honest with you.
Yeah.
So let's move on before, fights start. Number 436 is...
Hey, I just met you!
This is crazy.
And this is crazy. Carly Rae Jepsen's Call Me Maybe. Okay. I actually really like this song a lot. I like this song more than most people do, especially now that the whole like craze over it has died down a little bit. I will say, as infectious as it is, as really, fun and bouncy and bubbly and bubblegum that the production is, if I were to pick a Carly Rae Jepsen song, this is not the one.
I really, 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 really like you.
No, not that one either. I actually like this one better than I really, really like you.
I do too.
But when you're comparing it to songs like Making the Most of the Night, Run Away With Me, Solo, The Sound, I think that this is, while this is an A-tier Carly Rae Jepsen song, it's not S-tier, which I think would be better fits for this list. But this is the most popular one. This is the one most people know her for. I understand that. So I'm happy it's here. I actually do think it belongs on this list. I think this is a good spot for it. Brooklyn, how about you?
Whenever this song came up on the list, I kind of chuckled and I was like, God fucking damn it.
You looked at the list ahead of time? You cheater.
Because I hear the song now and it's just like, why is this song so fucking catchy and popular? And like it kind of reminds me of like Vines from back then, and it'd be like guys like, I'm not singing this song, and they go to it, and it kind of catches me doing the same thing. Like I'm not gonna sing the I threw wishing you know well. Don't look to you.
I'm not gonna sing the song. I'm not gonna sing the song. I'm not gonna sing the song.
Yeah. Yeah, and then you just get to the chorus and everybody sings that. And it's kind of creepy, but everybody's enjoying themselves, and that makes it okay.
Doesn't sound like it. Koho, you're young.
This is Carly Rae Jepsen's best song. Carly Rae Jepsen is one of the most interesting. Is one of the most talented, one of the most undervalued and underappreciated artists working in pop music today. She has like two very specific kinds of songs she sings, has a very specific theme to every song she's ever sang, and I respect her for it. And you can like look at it, if you examine the patterns, you'll see it. I think this is her best song. I think it's her best written song. I think that there's a reason why it's a catchy earworm, is because she crafted lyrically one of the best pop songs of the 2010s. This song has great upbeat music. This song has really great lyrics. When you really think about what she is saying, I think it is a very smart song, a very clever song. I think this is her best one. There's a reason why it got her so many Grammy nominations for it. And unfortunately, she was just up against one of the greatest songs ever written that year for Record of the Year, which rightfully won. It's a great choice for it to be here. I wouldn't put it above Sugar We're Going Down, which, because of where it is, that is going to be that's going to be the bearing of where we put things now. I think it's the second best song we've talked about tonight. Fantastic song.
Fair enough. All right, and moving on. Oh wait, hold on. I just noticed this, and I want to bring this up. Look at who one of the writers is right here.
Not Grammy nominee for Song of the Year for
Josh
Ramsey.
Josh Ramsey Joshua Ramsey. Okay, now I understand why this song is so freaking catchy. Now I get it.
Listen,
All right.
Mariana Trench is a fine band. Top 500 among little.
Brooklyn, I will throw a can of creamed corn in your face.
Pop Music 101. Follow simple instructions.
But going from one Canadian icon to another Canadian icon, Brooklyn is in heaven right now. Number 435, Limelight by Rush. Not the Rush song I would put on the list. This is a good Rush song, but it is not like a good example of what a Rush song is. Do I really like this song? I do. I don't put it on the top 500 of all time, though. I think that it is a good Rush song. It is not a great Rush song. Like, if I want a Rush song, I will listen to like Tom Sawyer or I'm blanking on the actual letter combinations like that.
Spirit of Radio.
Spirit of Radio, but like a YYZ.
Yeah.
Things like that. I'll save the Canadian for last. Koho.
I don't like Rush.
Okay, moving on to Brooklyn.
So yeah, I would agree with you that this is not the Rush song to put on here. Lyricist wise, like any song that I think that quotes Shakespeare, like the line that kind of pops up to my head. All the world's merely all the world's a stage. We are merely its players, performers, and portrayers. The riff, the opening riff in this is kind of standard for the chorus of what was going on at the time. These guys and like April Wine and like BTO, we're all kind of doing similar things in the scene. But yeah, in terms of bands, these guys are some of the best in their individual crafts. Geddy Lee, I think is top 3 bases for sure.
Yeah.
Kurt is arguably the best one. Alex Lifeson, I will say, is an overrated guitarist, but still good nonetheless.
I do want to just say, I do think Rush is a very talented band. I'm just not a fan of them.
Which I totally understand. Like, they're a very niche band.
Yeah.
With that, we're going to move to number 434, which is Sheena is a Punk Rocker by the Ramones. Hell yes. Another one that just fucking slaps.
Bar listened to this in high school.
I did, actually, because I really liked the Ramones in high school. I was a big Ramones fan in high school, actually. So
I believe that.
So give me back my high school yearbook, Koho.
You're a Cruella fan, guaranteed. Cruella soundtrack was your high school soundtrack.
That soundtrack was my life. Sheena is a Punk Rocker is actually my favorite of the Ramones songs. I'm almost 100% sure that we're going to see Blitzkrieg Bop somewhere down the line. And while I really like that song a lot, I just like the drive and the energy of this song a lot better. I think that just the way it just pounds through and it just kind of comes in and it leaves just as quickly as it came. It's a burst of energy. It is a lightning bolt to the system. And it's honestly the catchiest song that the Ramones have ever made. Brooklyn, what are your thoughts?
Ramones have a very interesting place in my heart. I think they're an incredible band, but Koho will understand what I mean. Probably like the biggest cheating moment in trivia history. It involves the Ramones. So I always go back to that moment. Yeah. In Jukebox Trivia Match was scored 100 to 100 or something. It used to be around where you'd go back and forth and name songs, and Ramones was the band that had gotten selected. And yeah,
they only had like a few albums.
Yeah, but they went through like all of their discography except for 4 songs, and yeah. Anyways, but yeah, this is cool in terms of like punk rock from this scene. I would prefer like this. I would prefer like the Sex Pistols and like the Clash or whatever. But yeah.
Oh, we'll definitely see them down the line.
Yeah, we definitely will. But yeah, Ramones are fine. If we're seeing Sheen as a punk rocker, the only other song that I want to see later on down the road is "I Want to Be Sedated," because I think that's the best of their category. But yeah.
That was a good one. Koho, what are your thoughts on the Ramones, you young whippersnapper?
What I like about you. That should show up, but oh well.
Not the Ramones.
No, you're right. That's not the Ramones. I'm gonna shut the fuck up. There's a Ramones song that I was thinking of, and that's not that one.
It's Blitzkrieg Bop, probably.
Blitzkrieg Bop, probably. I don't know. I thought the Ramones covered that. Anyway, at the end of the day, the Ramones are great, and I like the Ramones a lot. This one was good. Probably would be lower on my list, but this is fine. I don't even know if this would actually make my list, but it's fine. I like this one.
This would definitely make my list, and I would actually put it a lot higher.
I'm really confused now. I thought I was right.
It's the Romantics. The Romantics made what I like about it.
That's what I'm thinking of. You right.
All right, moving on to number 433 before Koho makes a bigger idiot of himself.
Yep.
Weston Girls by Pet Shop Boys. I'm going to let Koho take the lead on this one.
This song slaps, homies. Pet Shop Boys are dope. West End Girls is one of the coolest sounding songs I think I've heard ever. It gets really kind of, I don't know if I want to use the word creepy at the end, but it kind of does. It gets kind of creepy, haunting sounding at the end. I like the Pet Shop Boys. I think this is very, very 60s, and very 60s experimental. It's the same vibe you get with later Beach Boys. And I like.
This is an 80s song, right?
Did I say 80s? I meant 60s. Or did I say 60s? I meant 80s.
You said 60s.
Ugh, sorry. I just totally just blew.
Hi. Too late. We already made Koho a bigger idiot.
You guys, Bar knows exactly what's on my brain right now, so I'm not thinking about this as intensely as I was before 7:30. But this is a great song. Good inclusion. Yeah.
Brooklyn.
There. The song is cool. It encapsulates everything that I love about the 80s, where it doesn't really take itself seriously. Kind of polarizing in its range or whatever. You have these like really high horns in kind of like in the bridge section, but then that bass is just super low. And it's just it's weird. But it's cheese, and it's like really good cheese, like some good like gorgonzola, some good blue funk in there.
I can't believe we actually started naming cheeses. This song is dope. I think this is a good spot for it on the list. I don't know, it could be higher, honestly. It's this really great mix of like new wave and dark wave, and electronic. It's the kind of song that The Weeknd would absolutely be influenced by.
Oh yeah, this is absolutely a Weeknd song that he would remake in 2022.
Oh, for sure. I'm surprised he hasn't already remade this song to be completely
or at least sampled it. Like this is very Weeknd. This is up the Weeknd's alley.
Yeah, but it's that atmosphere that it creates. It creates like this foggy night atmosphere that is perfect for the location that it's setting itself in. This song is fantastic. I'm so happy it's here, actually. Not my favorite Pet Shop Boys, but if one had to make this list, I think that this is arguably the one that does. And moving on to number 432, we have Summertime Blues by Eddie Cochran. I'm glad this is the version that made the list. I've heard other versions of this song, and they completely miss the point of this song. Everyone else takes this song way too seriously, and this is just like a fun, jaunty, like typical 50s rock and roll. And it has, there's a side of rebellion to it, but it's a summertime jam, and it's a lot of fun. It has a lot of fun with itself. It doesn't take itself too seriously, but it's absolutely infectious because of that. Brooklyn, what are your thoughts?
So I'm gonna say the exact opposite of what you said. I think the Alan Jackson version is better. Because I listened to this and I'm like, it's not. This isn't Alan Jackson. Give me Alan Jackson, damn it. Yeah, that's all I'm gonna say.
I like Alan Jackson, but I like this better. I like this better. I think that I like the oldies sort of feel of this song. I'm glad you used the word rebellious. That's exactly the word that popped into my brain when I was listening to it. Yeah, I think this is, like, really fun. Like, this is kind of one of those just, like, fun fuck you songs, if you really think about it. It's a fuck you, dad. It's not a phase song.
Exactly!
It's punk rock before it's punk rock, and I dig it. I don't know. I liked it.
And then punk rockers tried to make this so serious, and it just becomes so bland when they actually covered it. The place I work at plays, like, 2 different covers of this song, and they never play this version because for some reason they never play the original better version.
50s music bad today, Bar.
50s no good, 50s old.
50s old, so 50s black and white, so bad.
Yeah, you've seen Pleasantville. Alright. Moving on to number 431, we're going to I forgot this song was here. I mean, I didn't know this song was here, and we brought on. You know what? Let's save it for last. Brooklyn, let's start with you.
All right. So.
Oh, by the way, for the listeners, it's "Adore" by Prince.
Okay, if this is the first Prince song we're getting, we're probably getting a bunch more. It's not what I think of whenever I go to Prince. Like it's very sultry, I guess, but not in a good way. It's kind of I don't know. Not sure how I feel about this song.
I really like this song. I'm not like a Prince super fan. Like I have a lot of respect for the guy's music. It's just not a lot of his songs connect with me. Some of them do. This is one of them. I like the sultriness of it. It's got like a great tone, and Prince sounds great on this. It's a little long, but honestly, when I think of what this song was probably intended for, that's probably the proper length. And I'm not going to go too far into that. Koho, what are your thoughts?
I live in the wrong state. Because I hate hockey. And I hate Prince.
But you like Judy Garland.
I do like Judy Garland. And I like the Coen brothers, so therefore, evens out. I'm also a Vikings fan, which means I know disappointment deeply. However, Adore is not one of the songs from Prince I would be okay with seeing on this list. I think this song's not good. I'll say this. I think Prince can't sing. I don't think Prince has a good voice.
Wow.
I have said this 1,000 times. I think Prince is a great guitarist, and bad at just about everything else he ever does. There is one song, maybe 3 songs total from Prince that I'm okay with seeing on a top 500. Absolutely not this one. I guarantee you we'll see at least 2 of them on this list. I don't think Party Man's gonna show up.
You put Party Man on that list?
I'd put Party Man on that list, yeah.
Holy crap.
Party Man from 1989's Batman is a great song.
I would say Let's Go Crazy, and obviously Purple Rain. But
Purple Rain's going to be here, and I'm totally okay with that. I think that is by far the best Prince song, and it's probably the only great song Prince has ever written. I
would agree with half of that.
I think 1999 is the other one, where I'd be okay with it.
I'd be happy to see Raspberry Beret pop up.
I don't like Raspberry
Beret. When Doves Cry would be another one.
Oh, yeah.
I don't like When Doves Cry.
Wow.
Jake Marangoni, if you are listening, this is coming a little too late. You probably should have turned off the episode when you heard Prince and knew I was on. Fair.
So, Jake Marangoni and the state of Minnesota, you know where to send your hate mail.
Because I'm boatman@gmail.com.
Exactly. So, you know, I'm gonna put that on a banner. So
I'll literally get his email and put it on a banner. Whenever you have hate mail, just goes to becauseofboat@gmail.com.
all right, we're almost there, guys. Moving on to number 430. Pete Rock and CL Smooth. They reminisce over you, also known as Troy. This song slaps. I don't know why this song is as low as it is. That sax sample is one of the greatest samples ever in hip hop. It just sets this incredible atmosphere. The lyrics in this are unbelievable. And the flow, it's just so precise. It's tight and it's precise and it's direct, but it is still so smooth and laid back and relaxed that it hits you super effectively. Honestly, it's a heartbreaking song, but there's also like that hint, that hint of hope. I think this song is incredible. I don't know what the fuck it's doing in the 400 range. Koho, let's go to you.
This is pretty perfectly placed. This song is
Oh
cool.
God.
This song is real cool. I dig it. I think right about here is where I would have it. When it comes to 80s rap, that gets to be a bit of hit and miss for me. It can either be really borderline. It's either borderline cringy and cheesy. 92. I thought that's at 82.
They even say it in the song, Koho. Did you listen to it?
Late 80s, yes I did. Late 80s, early 90s rap. I will extend it that way. That it's borderline. It can either be cringe or it can be good. This is one that lands on good. There are moments where I'm like, it's a little cheesy. But end of the day, this is pretty decent. It's cool.
Brooklyn.
Shout out to Chance Ellison. He was the person that introduced me to this song. I think there was a group of us that did like a song of the day, and that's how he brought it up. But yeah, that saxophone sample is incredible, and just the way that they break off from the chorus into like that instrumental section. It's like when they reminisce over you, and it just like. You're kind of taken aback, and you're able to kind of sit back in the beat. If you've never heard of this band, if you really like A Tribe Called Quest, I think that you would enjoy this song.
Yeah, absolutely. That's a great comparison. Moving on to number 429, Queen and David Bowie's Under Pressure. The first time we're seeing either Queen or David Bowie show up on this list. Koho, I know you're a big Queen fan, so let's hear it.
Way too low. The fact that Queen and David Bowie have a song this low on the list, period. Nuts. Every Queen song that you're going to put on has to have a minimum spot of 200. There's not a Queen song that should be lower than 200 on the top 500. Especially, least of all, Under Fucking Pressure, which I think is one of their greatest songs. It has, I think, maybe the greatest bass line in the history of music. Queen has it's a pretty 50-50 shot. Queen has two songs that have two great bass lines that are all-timers. It's either this or Another One Bites the Dust for the greatest one of all time. So there you go. But I think that this is absolutely a top 10 duet of all time. These two artists meshing on this song is incredible. I think this is such a phenomenal song and a phenomenal message in the song to put out in the 80s. So, yeah, I love Under Pressure.
Brooklyn.
Oh, man. All right, where do I start with this? I don't think that this is a top 10 Queen song.
Leave.
It's fine.
Wow.
Leave.
This song is good, but I think it was done better by My Chemical Romance and The Used.
I will agree with that, actually. I do think The Used in My Chemical Romance's version is better.
Hold on.
But I still think it's a great song.
Now, in terms of bass lines, no. The best bass line of the Queen song is Crazy Little Thing Called Love.
Get out of my life. Get out of my life right now.
So you like
I might agree with Brooklyn, actually.
Doom, doom, digga, doom, doom.
Doom, 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 doom.
That's
yes,
nice.
absolutely.
Fucking notes.
Baby.
Yeah, get out of my life. Both of you. You're both old.
First of all, the first thing I'd like to say is Rob Van Winkle, aka Vanilla Ice. Let's finally admit you stole this bass line. Let's finally admit that.
He knows he sampled the bass line.
He knows he did.
He knows. Yes, he did.
Oh, he did? Oh, I missed that.
I'm pretty sure Queen's credited in the writing of the song "Ice Ice Baby."
I think they are because I think they took him to court though.
That's probably true. Well, I know that sampling is literally a thing because of Ice Ice Baby. The whole crediting over sampling and stuff.
That Bismarcky, and one other thing, or the big
you can't
three.
touch this.
Yeah, you can't touch this. I really like this song a lot. I think it makes my top 10 Queen songs, absolutely. Maybe on the lower end of that top 10, but it makes my top 10. It doesn't make my top 10 Bowie songs, though. I think this is a great collaboration. The back and forth is flawless. There is, no, stilted or empty spot between the two of them.
And the thing about this song is neither one is lacking. They are each matching each other and elevating each other in each back and forth. There's no lesser of the two between Freddie and David. I think that's
wild.
That's nuts. Those two are titans of what they do.
Yeah.
And and at that point, two of the biggest stars in the world. Yeah. And you put them on a song together, and there's no one's playing second fiddle to the other. It's not David's backing up Freddie or Freddie's backing up David. It's nuts.
Which is wild considering that David Bowie apparently did not like Freddie Mercury.
That's wild.
Wow.
Yeah. They did not get along, apparently.
Where was that Bohemian Rhapsody? I want to see that.
Right? But we will be moving on to number 428. Oh, what? Why is... Okay. Harry Styles' Sign of the Times. I really like this song a lot. I actually think it's one of Harry Styles' best songs. I think it is one of the best songs to hit the Hot 100 in the last decade. But it's a Queen / David Bowie impersonator. Granted, a very, very good one. Above Under Pressure, though. Do I think the song deserves to be on the list? Probably not. Now, if we were talking top 500 songs of the last 10 years, yes, absolutely. I would probably put this song on that list. But to be above Under Pressure, that's just kind of wild to me. Once again, great song. I actually really dig it. It's just the placement is just off. Brooklyn, what are your thoughts?
I hate this song.
Whoa!
The fiery passion. No, this song got a lot of airplay at a job that I hated. So I just initially attached that song to that time in my life. And in terms of Harry Styles, I don't like it because I like his more upbeat stuff. I think "Adore You" would be the song that I would throw in for top 500. But this song is deflating in a way. And what I mean by deflating is you hear that guitar sort of slide down in the chorus, and it just relieves all of the tension that is in there. And I kind of like the tension that is there. And the bridge in this kind of shows that Harry Styles isn't that great of a vocalist, or doesn't have that good of a foundation.
Wow. Koho.
I think it's time we all admit to ourselves one thing. It's not that we don't like Harry Styles. It's that we don't like Harry Styles fans. Harry Styles fans are the worst fan base in the world, along with BTS fans. I think both BTS and Harry Styles are very good musicians. They are very good artists.
Bruce Springsteen fans are not...
Bruce Springsteen... That's because Bruce Springsteen is a hack who can't sing. Harry Styles sings him under the table.
You're a hack who doesn't know good music.
Harry Styles, Sign of the Times, is not his best song, but one I understand being on a top 500. With some songs that have already shown up, I think this deserves to be here. If we're going to call Truth Hurts and Savage Remix top 500, this deserves to be above both of them. I think this is a good song. I would put it probably on the low end of my top 500, maybe. I think Adore You and Watermelon Sugar are both better, actually.
Adore You is great, yeah.
I think Watermelon Sugar is probably Harry Styles' best song, but it's close. Adore You is also very good. I am okay with Harry Styles being here. I think this is a good song to use. This is the most Rolling Stones pick of Harry Styles songs, if we're going to be honest. But yeah, I'm good with that. I think also, I remember when they broke up and all of them went solo and started putting out music, and we were like, very early, everyone was like, Zayn won the One Direction battle, and I was in the camp of, what's his name? The guy who did This Town, Niall Horan. I thought Niall Horan was winning the battle. Harry Styles won. Harry Styles was always the guy on One Direction, and he won. So there you go.
Yeah, I would say Harry Styles won. I believe that it does deserve to be on the list, just the placement's off. But yeah, Harry Styles did win that, even though I do stand by that Niall Horan is best.
Niall Horan, This Town, and Slow Hands. Great songs. Both deserve to be here also.
Yeah,
all right, moving on.
Needs to be on here over that.
Which one?
Slow Hands.
Oh, I don't know about
Slow Hands is great. I think This Town's a better song, but
I agree with that. All right, number 427, Rapper's Delight by the Sugar Hill Gang.
There we go.
Koho.
Yeah, duh. If we're going to pick rap songs to go on our top 500 of all time, this is kind of the granddaddy of all of them. You can't really do it without this one. The song's really fun and very good. It still stands up the test of time. It's Nile Rodgers, for God's sakes. This song is great. And at the end of the day, deserves to be here. Great song. Maybe put it a little bit lower. I think it's maybe just a touch cheesy, just because of where it's been used and how it's been played and how old it is. But I think on the whole, the fact that it still stands up for the most part is a good, very, very good sign that this will probably stand up in another 20 years.
I really like this song. I think that the cheesiness I'm totally fine with. I think that it's just a touch too long. Honestly, it kind of overstates its welcome. However, all of the personalities are great. Their flows are really tight. It's a very fun song. I completely understand why this is one of those songs that broke the barrier for hip-hop into the mainstream. Brooklyn.
This song is good, but I could see this one falling off the next time that this list gets made. I've actually been watching a series on Netflix. I'm not sure when it came out, but it's Hip Hop Evolution. It's hosted by Shad. I forget what his last name is, but I'm like 10 or 11 episodes in, and they've yet to mention the Sugar Hill Gang. I think that's a really good showcase of like what is to not really what is to come, but like everything we've missed in hip hop. In terms of production and like what was going on like lyrically at the time. Like I know Koho was saying with 80s and 90s it borders on like cringe or whatever. I think that cringe stuff works because it's more of like a storytelling vibe, as opposed to like now this generation is more about like lyricism. Lil Wayne, as much as I don't like him as a rapper, he's incredibly talented as a lyricist into what he's able to do syllabally.
I would push back on that a little bit. I think now is more about storytelling than then. I think back then it's more about swagger and ambiance of what you're doing, and now with people like Kendrick Lamar, it's about changing everything with lyrics and storytelling. And J. Cole, and Logic even used to do storytelling, and now he's a hack. But oh well.
Also,
NF even like storytelling's big.
Also, if we're talking about silly, upbeat hip hop songs, I hope that we see the Humpty Dance on here.
Get the fuck out.
Absolutely. Oh, absolutely.
I'm down from the underground. My name is Humpty.
All right. Well, moving on to our final song of the night. So the last couple episodes, the last song has been not bad, but just kind of a letdown. Let's see how it works out for us tonight.
Doom, 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 doom,
Super bad.
and that's
Super
super
bass.
bass.
Super Bass by Nicki Minaj. I'm going to try to be as polite and respectful as possible because we've talked about BTS fans and Harry Styles fans. Nicki Minaj fans are probably the most dangerous. However,
Right.
I mean, BTS fans literally raided a hotel because that BTS was there. But go off.
fair enough. I think that this song is inconsistent. I think it's got great, fantastic elements, but I don't think that it fully weaves into one amazing song. I think there's a lot of great production moments that are fantastic. I think there's a lot of great moments where Nicki's flow is amazing, but for some reason, just it doesn't quite come together for me. The highs are super high, but the lows are just they're not super low, but they're just not as high as the highs. Brooklyn.
This song, I remember when the song came out, and this was a fucking bopper. This was like grade like 11 or 12. So this would have been one of the bigger songs in dance. I think that Nicki Minaj in general is gonna get passed by Doja Cat.
I don't know.
God.
Oh
my God.
Yeah, I'll stand by that.
Just tag your toe already. Declare her dead. Why don't you?
Wow.
Doja Cat is doing some really cool stuff. That
Cool
I
is
think
a fun word for bad.
Oh, I wish I had the like thing right here.
Yeah.
Look, to compare. Sorry, you go ahead. I'll let you finish.
No, I was just gonna say, Nicki Minaj is cool. She kind of fell off in terms of production and lyricist qualities. But yeah, it's fine.
I think comparing her to Doja Cat's an insult to Nicki Minaj.
Say So is the best Nicki Minaj song out there.
Doja Cat hasn't made
that song.
Doja Cat has not made a good song in 10 fucking months of fucking music that she's been number one. Or whatever it is. How long she's been making
songs?
She's released like 3 songs. They're all the worst top 40 song I've played on my station. I think Doja Cat's terrible. Doja Cat used to be Doja is 10 times the song anything Doja Cat has ever made or will ever make. At the end of the day, Doja Cat, just to wrap that part up, used to be really cool, really quirky, and really fun. And then she threw that all away to make garbage.
She met Dr. Luke.
And then she met Dr. Luke and decided to make garbage. All 3 of her top 40 hits are trash. Nicki Minaj has made 3 top 40 hits, and all of them are 100 times better than any Doja Cat song. This song is good. It's her second best hit. It's better than Anaconda. It's not quite as good as Starships. But it is.
I think it's better than Starships.
That's fair. I like Starships more for nostalgia reasons, but this song is very good. I think Nicki Minaj is very talented. I don't think she's necessarily in terms of what she's talking about and not a quality songwriter by any means, but I think her ability as a rapper is often overlooked because of what she's singing about and being overtly sexual, which I don't have a problem with. In terms of being an artist who's overtly sexual, I just think that Nicki Minaj has more talent than Doja Cat. I think that Nicki Minaj is a very talented rapper, and I think Super Bass is a very fun song. I think it's a very, very well produced song. The bass in it is sick. Which you need to for a song called Super Bass. So I think this is a good song. I enjoy it a lot. I think Nicki Minaj having a song on the top 500 overall, maybe a stretch. I don't think any of her 3 hits are in the top 500. When it comes to rappers, period, I don't think she's one that I think needs to be recognized in the top 500 songs of all time. If we did top 500 rap songs of all time, yeah, I would say she probably needs 1 or 2. But in the top 500 songs, period, I don't think Nicki Minaj really belongs here, but Super Bass is a good song, so I don't care.
Yeah, if there was one of her songs that had to make this list, this is probably the one I would throw out there. All right, and with that, we did it. I would like to thank. Before we go, actually, I do. I almost forgot to ask. So, out of all of these songs that we've gone over, and Koho, you are not allowed to pick "Sugar We're Going Down" because I know that would already be your pick. If you had to pick one of these songs that you would insert into the top 100, what song would it be?
I mean, my answer is Sugar We're Going Down, but if I can't pick Sugar We're Going Down, I have to pick Call Me Maybe. I think Call Me Maybe is the second best song we talked about tonight. I think that it's a song that people just throw away and overlook as being just bubblegum pop, but I think it's way smarter than that. I think it's way more interesting than that. I think it's actually well more crafted than it gets credit for. Carly Rae Jepsen is an artist that I think gets a lot more flack and less recognition than she deserves. And I think that Call Me Maybe is the crowning jewel of her career so far, and I think that recognizing that with the top 100 spot would not upset me. But the correct answer is Sugar We're Going Down by Fall Out Boy. That is absolutely a top 100 song of all time.
Brooklyn, how about you?
Yeah, for me it would be Help. I think it should be in the top 100. It showcases everything that's great about the Beatles. Like that's not Ringo's best work, but I think it's solid to what he's offering with the song. There is incredible harmonies in there. The guitar work in it is great. It's a quick song. Like this is from like that Beatles subsection of like songs that are under 2.5 minutes. And if you have that much emotion in that quick of time, then you're doing right things.
And for me, as much as I love The House That Built Me and Sheena is a Punk Rocker, if I had to pick one, I would pick They Reminisce Over You, Troy. I think that the flow is super tight. I think the lyrics they're very emotional and they hit you. And I think that's one of the greatest samples of all time with that saxophone. That tone it sets is absolutely perfect. But Brooklyn, we did it. We got through another episode. I'd like to thank Kaleb Koho for coming on and talking with us. We would absolutely love to have you back on. I know that I'm guessing there's a few other songs that may pop up on this list that...
Call me when Michael Jackson and Billy Joel inevitably show up, because that those are my guys. I'll show up for them any day of the week to talk about Michael Jackson and Billy Joel. Panic at the Disco shows up, I will fucking argue that Boatman and I should double guest so we can finally hash out why he's an idiot and thinks that Pretty Odd is their best album when it's their second worst. But we'll go for it. Also, Brooklyn, I'm serious. We should resurrect Dance Off one last time so I can beat the absolute shit out of River Cuomo's bastard.
Thank you for coming on, Koho. Brooklyn, any last thoughts before we head off?
Michael Jackson and Billy Joel are obviously going to be there. I'm liking how this list is being crafted. Very dispersed. The one thing I will say that I'm missing, there hasn't been any like super duper hard rock. There hasn't been any
Ace of
Metallica. Fair enough. Sorry, Ace of Spades is the hardest, but we haven't gotten into
There's no Metallica yet.
Right.
There's no Black Sabbath yet. We haven't gotten into satanic-y kind of lyrics.
Okay, and with that dark thought,
when you start talking about Satanism, get Spence on.
That's a deep cut reference for you. But for Kaleb Koho, for Brooklyn Vale, and for myself, Andrew James Barr, thank you so much for listening. Keep rocking on.
Drive safely.